Hey everybody, Chad here. Another episode of Law of Attraction Secrets. This one's going to be unique. We're going to talk about, do you micromanage what you want? Are you a micromanager with what you want? Are you a micromanager with a law of attraction? Are you a micromanager with trying to manifest what you want? Okay, and this is something that I do too. Okay, so let's think about this. Let's focus on, let's go back in the beginning with law of attraction. Okay, just for like 1 minute here, just to recap. You have to focus on what you want. Okay, laser focus on what you want. One thing at a time, not 10 things at a time. So what happens is you focus on one thing, you stay committed until you get that one thing. Then that's when you kind of come back and do a second thing. Okay, so you stay laser focused on what you want. You stay laser committed on what you want. Okay, now once you're laser committed, then that's when the imagination comes in and you think at the end. You act as if. So there's kind of two things here. When you're in your imagination, you think at the end, meaning you already received what you want. Okay, the best times to do this is bedtime routine, morning routine. As you go to sleep in that state of what you want. Okay, but you go sleep in a state at the end result. You already received it, what you want. Okay, now through the day, you act as if you already received what you want. You act confident in what you want. Okay, it's the same thing. You ask, then you believe, you have faith it's going to happen. Okay, now faith, remember, faith has many names. Faith means believe. If you believe, it means you expect it to happen. Make sense? So, lots of times I like to play with these words because sometimes when you say have faith in something, you're kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But faith really means believe. If you believe something, if you really, truly, 100% believe something, you expect it to happen. Okay. Now, are you a micromanager? Okay. Remember, okay, the power is within us. God is within us. Heaven is within us. Okay. We're universal laws, energy, whatever you want to say, Mother Nature, the power is within us. Our main objective here, and this is the hardest part to this, like we can do all these routines and do a nightly routine, morning routine, we can do affirmations and gratitude pads and stuff like that. Okay, that's fine. We can do all that. I do all that. Okay, but the biggest thing, the biggest hurdle is mind control. Makes sense? I mean, do you get an anxiety? You start worrying, you start doubting that you can have what you want. Okay. Now it's okay if you do. It does. If you doubt and worry, that's not going to stop you from achieving what you want. That's not going to stop you. Make sense? Some people might say, well, slow it down or whatnot. But I mean, who knows? Makes sense? Because it's a natural emotion. Okay. What we're trying to do is control that emotion. Okay. How do you control it? Okay. One of the ways is, there's a couple ways. It's hard. I mean, one of the things like Neville Goddard says is, he said, once you have your one thing you want, you're laser focused on it. This is what he says: stay focused until you have it. You don't give up until you have it. You stay focused until the end. Okay? Because he says if you stay focused to the end, you don't give up until you achieve it. He said you'll understand the mystery of this power. Okay, then next time you go around, you have a second goal, you'll have a little bit more deeper faith. You'll have a little bit more deeper belief because you know it works. Okay, now we don't know the time frame of how, we don't know the time frame of everything. But remember, one of the things Neville Goddard says, he talks a lot about God, a lot about the Bible. Okay, now this isn't a religious talk, but what you have to understand is God's way is better than your way. God's way is better than my way. And that's why I have to remind myself, God's way is better than my way. No matter what you want to call it, the universe way is better than your way. Higher consciousness is better than your way. Because what's happening is, going back to the title of this, are you a micromanager of what you want? What I mean by this is, are you trying, I'm sweating here because I turned off the air conditioner, I'm in Thailand. Are you trying to control the how? Are you trying to figure it out, like how to get it faster? Are you trying to force it to come? Makes sense? Okay. Now, if you are a little bit, we are human. It doesn't mean it's not going to come. It doesn't mean it's not going to manifest because you force it a little bit. Okay. But when you're trying to force, when you're trying to figure out the how, when you're trying to figure out everything, okay, the biggest thing that happens, that's what you're thinking about all the time. Your mind goes crazy. Okay. And this is a step, I believe, where when you go into this, controlling the how, this is where people give up. Okay, remember, most people give up right before they achieve what they want, no matter what it is. Okay, what we have to do, we have to be totally confident in our imagination. We have to be totally confident in that what we put our mind to, what we focus on, we will receive. Okay, now with that, are you a micromanager? The only thing we can control, this is what you have to tell yourself. The only thing we can, it's raining out, I don't know if you can hear that. The only thing we can control is what we want. Be laser focused on what we want. Act as if we already received it. In our imagination, think to the end. That's it. At that point, okay, this is the hardest part, in my opinion. This is the hardest part. We have to totally believe that we're going to get what we want. Because if you totally believe you're going to achieve what you want, your mind shuts off. You go on with your day. You go on with your work. You're hanging out with friends. Make sense? Because you just totally believe, like a child, that you're going to get what you want. But the thing is, are you micromanaging everything? Think about it this way. If you're a micromanager, if you're a manager, boss, VP, and you go to work, do you micromanage your employees? Are you a micromanager? Because we know that if we micromanage, if I'm a manager or a director or whatever, if I micromanage my employees, what happens? I can't get nothing done. You know what I mean? I can't get nothing done because I'm too busy running around to 100 employees or micromanaging them and making sure they're doing their work and making sure they're doing everything, rather than, listen to this, rather than totally trusting my employees. If I totally trust my employees, what does that do? It frees up my time, frees up my energy. I can focus on what I want. True? True? So in this mindset is we have to think that, okay, the only thing I'm in control of is focusing what I want, doing my bedtime routines, acting as if, thinking at the end of my imagination and not giving up. That's the only thing. Then I don't micromanage anything else. I don't micromanage the how. I don't micromanage the what. I try to stop analyzing and overthinking. Then that creates worry and anxiety and fear. What we do is we have to try to separate the two and say, okay, God controls the how. Remember, God controls the how. The universe controls the how. God's way is better than my way. When you try to control the how, that means rather than what I'm doing, if I try to control the how, I'm trying to think of one direction is going to come in, and I'm trying to force it in that one direction, rather than God's way is better than my way. It could come around the corner this way, but I'm over here focused like this, trying to force it to come in. We have to play with this, and that's why I make a lot of videos on different topics, because we have to try to create a separation, let go and let God. Okay, and tell ourselves what kind of works for us. Make sense? But we have to just totally give up trying to control the how. We have to just totally trust that, okay, this is what I want. I totally believe it's going to happen. God, you work on the how. My job, if you look at it as a job, God's job is figure out the how it's going to happen. My job is stay focused on what I want. Focus the end result, focus acting as if, and totally believe that the how is going to work itself out. Totally believe God has my back. Makes sense. The universe has my back. Okay? To me, this is the hardest part. And I think this is why Neville Goddard again says, you have to stay committed until the end. You can't give up. Because when you go through this process, you learn so much. You learn so much about yourself. And when you stay committed to the end and you finally get what you want, then you know the magic to this power that we possess. Then when you kind of go back into it, you will have a little bit more deeper faith. You will have a little bit more deeper belief that this works. But we just have to, we just have to take duty that controlling our mind. Okay, stay focused on in law of attraction. The only thing you should be focused on is what you want. You stay laser focused on it, and that's it. You don't control the how. You give that to God. You give that to the universe. Okay? Think about it as a term of employees. If you're a micromanager, think about it. This is my job, and this is God's job. Other than that, and you totally believe God's going to do his job. Other than that, that's it, baby. Okay? Other than that, my friends, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.